Ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at our main event of the evening. Shamrock Promotions proudly presenting you Kings of Combat 28 from the beautiful Melbourne Sports and Aquatic Centre in Albert Park, Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's main event is brought to you by UltraTune Auto Service Centres. For all of your vehicle service and maintenance needs, look online, ultratune.com.au. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's regional world title main event is sanctioned by the Professional Boxing and Combat Sports Board of Victoria, Supervisor ringside, Mr. Scott Brewer, and the World Boxing Council, the WBC, Supervisor ringside, Mr. Patrick Cusick. Ladies and gentlemen, judges scoring this bout, Brett Manton, Matthew Tyne, Martin O'Malley. When the action gets underway, your referee in charge, Ignatius Misailidis, timekeeper for this contest, Damien Membry. Ladies and gentlemen, everybody here in Melbourne, Victoria, the time is now. We are Ladies and gentlemen, the following contest, 8 3-minute rounds of a cruiserweight action. It is for the WBC Australasian Cruiserweight Championship. Ladies and gentlemen, let's introduce first, he's boxing out of the blue corner this evening. This man wears black trunks. He weighed in 90.1 kilograms. His professional record reads 20 fights, 15 wins, 3 losses, 2 draws, 4 big wins coming by way of knockout. Trained by Daniel Russell, tonight boxing out of the Logan Boxing Club. Let's make some noise and welcome Benjamin Kelleher. And now, ladies and gentlemen, introducing his opponent tonight. He's boxing out of the red corner. Tonight, this man wears the black trunks with the yellow trim. He weighed in 89.4 kilograms. His professional boxing record reads 9 fights, 8 wins, 1 draw, 7 big wins coming by way of knockout. Trained by Stephen Hancock. Boxing out of Stand Up Fitness, ladies and gentlemen, from Hampton Park, Victoria. Let's make some noise and welcome Peter the Sniper Salasue. Boxers centering for the referee's instructions, please.
As I explain the rules to you in the change room, I want you to obey my commands and protect yourselves at all times. Touch gloves and good luck.
So, ladies and gentlemen, it all comes down to this Kings of Combat 28, the main event, sponsored by UltraTune. Peter the Sniper Salasue and Ben Kelleher, the main event, all for the WBC Australasian Cruiserweight title. And Pete Maniatis, this is going to be a closely heated affair.
Peter Salasue, trained by Steve Hancock, one of the up-and-coming trainers in Australian boxing now. He told me he's got a cherry ripe here and he's undefeated. Ben Kelleher, we've seen him fight Joe Patone, some big names, so he's he's a real deal and he's been there and he's done that. So this is the biggest test of Peter Salasue's career for the WBC Australasian title.
Oh, there's no question about that. Ben Kelleher, as you mentioned, Jaya Pataya, world-ranked opponent who's fighting Marius Brightus from Latvia, and he's also been in with Mark Bam Bam Flanagan as well. There's some of the names that Ben Kelleher's been with best cruiserweights, former Australian cruiserweight champion as well when he beat Jaden Joseph.
So here we go, both guys starting out with a jab. Most important punch in boxing.
No question, it starts everything up off that jab. Peter the Sniper Salasue, his last fight was mid last year as well. He got the victory against Ivan Kohler. That was in the heavyweight division, so his last 2 fights have been in the heavyweight, but now he's primed and ready to go after a 6-week camp.
And this is for the WBC Australasian title, Patrick Cusick at ringside, the WBC supervisor. Third man in the ring, Ignatius Missalides, one of the leading officials in Australian boxing. Wild with a right hand, Salasui.
Yeah, Ben Kelleher seemed to sort of avoid that punch, but it was a real vaporising shot that did not land the overhand right. But Salasui looks to be sort of calm and calculated this fight. We know he's got a lot of power in his gloves with those 7 KOs in those 8 wins. Some of his big wins have come up against Aaron Ross in the second fight. The first fight was a draw, but the second fight he won that Victorian regional strap. But this is no question about it, the toughest test of his career against Ben Kelleher. Real seasoned professional. And he's only
with some big names.
Only sustained those 3 losses against Opatai and Bam Bam. So good names on the resume.
Both fighters starting off respectfully.
Ben Kelleher's always fit as well. He's been in the MMA scene, kickboxing scene, former Australian champion and Pacific champion on the kickboxing scene. And he's been in the MMA game as well. But it's all about the boxing tonight, and this is main event. Really close matchup between these two. Nice left hand and right hand from Peter the Sniper Salasui, backpedaling towards the ropes was Ben Kelleher. And a lot of support. Pete Salasui always has it here at MSAC from Hampton Park. In centering, nice head movement there from Salasui.
This night's sponsored by Sean Buckley as well, who's in attendance. The great man Sean Buckley. If you need your car service, don't muck around, just go to Ultratune. That's my advice for anyone out there. Don't take any risks with your car whatsoever. As we say that, Salasui gets Kelleher in the corner and starts wailing away.
Great stuff from Salasui, bowl over right hand. And he's landing some clean shots in this round. A good quality round from Salasui. Ben Kelleher landed a few punches, but Salasui stands there and absorbs those punches. He's had a good training camp, as I mentioned, 6 weeks with Jason Waitley. And Jason Waitley fights on main event in April. Comfortable in centering, Sniper. Pumps the jab, keeps working it. And they're scoring punches. Not long remaining in this round, 5 seconds. Beautiful right hand. That did slightly connect on the temple of Ben Kelleher, and that brings an end to the opening round, Pete.
How did you score that? 10-9 for Salasui for mine.
Yeah, I thought 10-9 in favour of Salasui in terms of the clean punches landed and the punch volume in favour of the Sniper in the red corner out of SUF Boxing. We go to some of the replays now in the opening round. Was Sniper really controlling that centre part of the ring, caught him with a left hand and went to work there with a couple of shots. Ben Kelleher did catch him at times with a counter-punching work, but predominantly was Sniper, good quality round. Short right hand, caught him a couple of times on the temple, and that was that bowl-over shot that did slightly land on Ben Kelleher. Both boys are going toe-to-toe, and you'll expect that in an 8-round contest for the WBC Australasian strap. Salasui is looking for his 2nd title, and we know Ben Kelleher has held the Australian title and the Queensland title as well. He's looking for his 3rd strap. That's Ben Kelleher.
Seconds down.
Just about set here for the 2nd round of this one. Main event. 7 rounds to come still. Just feeling out at this point in time here for Salasui in the early part of round 2. Always had some decent head movement. Biggest fight of his life, no question about it. Peter the Sniper Salasui. Big honours after this.
WBC Australasia title up for grabs. Doesn't get any bigger than that, does it?
Yeah, I've never seen him this fit.
Titles.
Never seen him this fit, Peter the Sniper Salasui, but he's come and ready for this one. He knows the occasion this is. First headline act. First main event for Peter the Sniper Salasui. We know Ben Kelleher's had a few main events, but Sniper knows the importance of this fight. As both fighters tussle in centre ring. Ben Kelleher will be with him every step of the way. He's what you call a warrior. Won't go down. Only been stopped a number of times in those losses. He's only got those 4 KOs. He tends to go the distance quite a lot, Ben Kelleher. Nice right hand there from Peter Sniper Salasui, just feeling him out there. Wasn't too much power behind those punches, but they're scoring punches. Kelleher look for that left hook. Real entertaining first couple of rounds here.
High quality cruiserweight contest.
No question about it. One of the best sort of cruiserweights in Victoria. We've got Peter the Sniper Salasui. We've got a few other names as well, but he's the main one on the Victorian scene. Jason Waitley, we know, is fighting for bigger honours, but there's some of the cruiserweights in Victoria. And then Ben Kelleher in Queensland, you know, Bam Bam, Floyd Mason. There's some of the names on the Queensland scene in the cruiserweight division. And Ben Kelleher will definitely have to be right up there. But at the moment,
100%.
Beautiful stuff from both boys. Silky work, silky operator so far, the sniper. Just biding his time. He knows it's an 8-round affair. The goalie's going to get tough later in the fight. Seeing his opponent's moves, catches it with them left hook. Kelleher tried to land that right and left hand combination. Got a real smart game plan early from Sniper.
He looks nice and relaxed, Peter Salasui, doesn't he?
Yeah, he always is sort of a relaxed sort of fighter, but in his last couple of fights, he knew he probably had the better of his opponents and went for the stoppage victory, but he knows that Ben Kelleher's got some real power in his punch, and he's a real tough, good quality customer. He knows what he possesses. That's a nice right hand there from Salasui that pushed Ben Kelleher back. What a silky left hook that was. Real swift there from Peter the Sniper Salasui. And both fighters are going toe-to-toe in centre ring, but for me, the better exchanges have been Salasui, the better defence, and he comes back with a few punches there to end this round. Ben Kelleher is having a few chances with that left hand, but it was all for me, Peter the Sniper Salasui, 10-9.
I've gotten 2 rounds up. Steve Hancock doing some amazing work in the corner as well.
He's had a great night at the office, Steve Hancock, with Louis Masters. That was a real coming out party on his debut. And Kane Clark, as we go to the replays, nice chopping right hand there that landed on Ben Kelleher from Sniper. Went with the overhand right, Ben Kelleher. And he's just tapping him at this point in time, Salasui. He knows they're scoring punches and knows that sort of they'll capture the 3 judges at ringside's attention. Beautiful left hook, and for me in this round it was sort of similar to that first round, but I sort of do believe the punch volume lifted a little bit there for Sniper, and he's doing sort of the cleaner work in centre ring. Great stuff there from the Sniper, but Ben Kelleher, can't underestimate him. He's 6 rounds remaining in this fight, and we know that he does possess power in both hands, and he'll be with his opponent every step of the way.
Round 3 scheduled for 8, cruiserweight limit. WBC Australasia title, sponsored by Ultratune. Mr. Sean Buckley, the CEO of Ultratune, in attendance as well. Ignatius Missilides is calling them in now, leading referee in Australian boxing. So away we go. We've scored unofficially our scorecards, the first 2 rounds of Peter Salasui, but it's been a very close fight.
Yeah, Ben Kelleher, he was last seen in action against Wakato Falafay, the Australasian champion. He beat him that day. That was Ben Kelleher over 5 rounds. So that was the last time he was in action. And Salasui, as you mentioned before, was in action in mid-2021 against Ivan Kola. So they've been out of the ring for some time, but a nice sort of right hand there from the Sniper that caught the ribs of Ben Kelleher.
Mentioned Steve Hancock before, one of the leading trainers there in Australian boxing. He's got a terrific stable, hasn't he?
Oh yeah, good quality stable. Kane Clark, as we saw in the co-feature, he's definitely one of the lightweights to watch with an improved record of 12-0, and he's looking for some of the big names. But having said that, look at Ben Kelleher, got his man where he wants him on the ropes, and Micheliti separates him.
Also Louis Masters, who is super impressive.
Oh yeah, mini Mike Tyson, peekaboo stance.
He's got the, definitely got the hammers. That was as impressive debut as I've seen, as far as power is concerned.
Definitely one to watch in the cruiserweight ranks. So you got in his stable Peter Salasui, who's a cruiserweight now. Louis Masters. Got to watch those fighters. Salasui taps his opponent.
Peter Salasui very relaxed and composed. I'm super impressed with that composure.
Yeah, they've done a lot of work, strength and conditioning, sort of get him up to speed with that 8-round affair. It's going to be a lot tougher than his last fights, which have gone for sort of fairly quickly against Ivan Kola and those sort of fighters, but now it's a real step up in class, a step up in a couple of notches for me in terms of his last opponents.
Looks like he's got plenty in the tank, Peter Salasui. Nice and relaxed, nice and composed.
Yeah, looking composed in centre ring. Avoiding
Ben
those
Kelleher,
punches.
that can shoot, a consummate professional, as we mentioned. Been in with Jai Patel, been in some big names. As we say, that Salasui catches him with right hand and glances left hook right past him.
Ben Kelleher just caught him with a left hook slightly there when he was coming in. Beautiful counter-punching work there from Ben Kelleher, but Salasui back on the job. Really exciting fight, this one, for the main event. Left it till last, but it's a good quality fight so far.
Keep the noise loud, ladies
In round number 3, Stevie Pales on the mic, revs up the crowd. A lot of support here from the southeast for Peter Salasui. Always has that sort of favourites in the crowd. One of the most sort of well-supported fighters. Slightly caught the shoulders there with the left hook on Ben Kelleher. As the remaining 5 seconds of this third round, Ben Kelleher fires downstairs. A better round here for Ben Kelleher, but I think Peter Salasui has had sort of the better work in this round slightly. It was a much closer round, but for me, in favour of the sniper, 3-0 so far, unofficially of course, as we go to the replays. And it was all Peter Salasui in the first half of that round.
Nice and composed left-right combination.
It was a tale of two halves that round. For me, Salasui in the early part, and Ben Kelleher came back in the second half. Both fighters tussling there, and Michailidis been on the ball all night, gets involved, and that's when Salasui caught him with the left hand. You could see the sweat coming off the head of Ben Kelleher. But Ben Kelleher very patient in his work as well. 34 years of age now, Ben Kelleher, and he's training out of Logan Boxing down there in Logan City, Queensland, under the guidance of Daniel Russell. So we're just about set for the fourth one now, fourth round of this 8-round affair. And don't forget, this is for the WBC Australasian Cruiserweight title, so it's definitely heating up now, middle rounds.
Round 4 scheduled for 8.
Beautiful straight right hand there from Peter Salasui. And then Ben Kelleher comes back with a slingshot right hand. The crowd's watching this very closely. This is what they come to see. Regional honours after this for both fighters, on the way to some big fights in this cruiserweight division. What a combination that was, a left hook and straight right hand.
Big shots there landed from Salasui, very heavy-handed Salasui. Mentioned before, trained by Steve Hancock and the boys out at the gym, and he would have been sparring Louis Masters as well, so he'd be cherry ripe for this fight.
Yeah, Louis Masters and Jason Waitley, and put in some good work with those two fighters. We mentioned Victorian Regional Champion Peter Salasui with his win over Aaron Ross. But calm and calculated here tonight. Patient in his work, he knows it's a long distance marathon race, this one. Come up with the right flurries at the right moments, Peter Salasui, to sort of capture the judges' attention, I do believe. We'll have to wait and see how that pans out. Caught him sort of glancingly there with that sort of left uppercut. Nice work there from Ben Kelleher. Got on the inside and then got on the outside. Both fighters are having success in this round. It's getting closer as the fight has gone on. First two were comfortable for Salasui. The third one a bit closer, but still sort of close in favour of Salasui, and this one is even so far. Trying to land that left hand, but it come off the gloves of Ben Kelleher. Nice double jab there from Peter Salasui. Trying to land that right hand over the top, but did not land. Now Ben Kelleher comes back, and he's warming up as this fight has gone on. Ben Kelleher hasn't fought since September.
Peter's still well composed though, Salasui, and picking his shots well, but Ben Kelleher is starting to up his ante.
Yeah, the
probably knowing that he's lost the first few rounds, that he needs to step it up, otherwise the fight's going to slip away.
Beautiful right hand there from Salasui moments ago. Ben Kelleher's volume has definitely lifted as the fight's worn on. Trying to land that right hand. Caught him with a left hand, but now look at Sniper come forward. Tries to constrict his opponent with that right hand and get on the inside. But this is where I like Peter Salasui. On the outside, possesses a good repertoire of punches. On the inside, he can be dangerous.
Both fighters in terrific condition.
Yeah, perfect condition, both fighters. Ben Kelleher, we know he's sort of fit all year round. Ben Kelleher, he competes in a lot of marathons and that sort of thing. So he's always quite a fit fighter. But Peter Salasui, nice head movement so far in the last 10 seconds of this round, round number 4. And both fighters are having their moments in this round. Could have gone either way. For me, a much better round there from Ben Kelleher.
Topsy-turvy round, wasn't it?
It was up and down for both fighters. Short 15-second burst.
Hard fight to score. That round was very, very hard to score. Peter Salasui obviously in front with those early rounds.
Yeah, for me, that first 3 rounds I sort of had him in front, but I reckon Ben Kelleher might have snuck that round, unofficially, of course. So if there's any round he probably won, it was probably that one.
It was a topsy-turvy round.
What a great night so far. Kings of Combat 28. The co-feature, we saw Kane Superman Clark at the Chocolates with that stoppage second round victory. And then, as we mentioned, We've got Peter the Sniper Salasui in action against Ben Kelleher, but Louis Masters won earlier on. We also had Melvin L, but he's definitely one to watch in the sort of featherweight, super featherweight ranks, as well as Cesar Afachan. So there's some of the names, rising stars in boxing that are coming through the ranks in multiple divisions. As we gear up for round number 5 of this one. Main event time. All comes down to this. Beautiful right uppercut there from Salasui. That punch did land. But we'll see if Ben Kelleher keeps improving in terms of the output. They're having their moments on the inside, both fighters. Touching each other up. Just measuring each other up. Trying to find the right punch. Salasui looking real slick tonight in his work. He's put in the hard yards at 28 years of age, Salasui. This is his peak time now to start making statements and rising up the ranks. Ben Kelleher has shown he's been in with the best. He's proved his worth in centre ring. He's done some good quality work against Trial Pataya and Bam Bam. But tonight, he wants to make it, or sort of get another sort of good quality win and affect the Peter Salasui record, because he's unbeaten, Peter Salasui. To try to get the W tonight, Ben Kelleher coming all the way from Queensland. And both fighters are tussling it in centre ring as Peter Salasui tries to land that clubbing right hand. But this is toe-to-toe stuff. This is what the fans want to see. Both fighters going toe-to-toe in the pocket.
Now back in the centre ring, Peter Salasui doing what he does best. He's very relaxed, good composure, looking to land a big shot to change the whole complex of this fight.